This is All India Radio. I am Naresh Magu and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha with the Midday News. The headlines. Over 6,530,000 beneficiaries administered COVID-19 vaccine in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 94.32%. Campaigning is in full swing for the second phase of Assembly election in Assam and West Bengal. Registration of pilgrims for Sri Amarnath Ji Yatra begins on 1st April 2021. Holi is being celebrated across the country with full fervour and gaiety. President, Vice President and Prime Minister extend greetings on the occasion. Two-day Indo-US naval exercise PASEX in Bay of Bengal concludes today. In Maharashtra, 5 Naxalites killed in anti-Naxal operation. Huge container ship blocking Suez Canal partially refloated. All 25 Indian crew on board are safe. And in cricket, India beat England by 7 runs in third and final ODI to clinch the series 2-1. As the number of COVID cases is on the rise again, we appeal to our listeners not to lower the guard, follow all the precautions, and all those above 45 years to get vaccinated without any hesitation. Stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Over 6,530,000 beneficiaries have been administered COVID-19 vaccine in the country till now. The Health Ministry said in the last 24 hours, 68,020 new COVID-19 cases have been reported, and with this, the total cases have reached 1,20,39,644. Till now, 1,13,55,900 persons have recovered from COVID-19. The recovery rate is now at 94.32%. In the last 24 hours, 32,231 people were discharged. The death toll in the country due to the pandemic has reached 1,61,843. The active cases in the country stand at 5,21,808. Meanwhile, the Indian Council of Medical Research has said the total number of samples tested up to yesterday is 24,18,64,161. In Madhya Pradesh, 2,276 fresh COVID cases were reported yesterday, while 1,075 patients recovered from the infection. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
The state's active count stands at 14,185, while positivity rate was 8.9%. With 11 patients succumbing to the infection, the death toll rose to 3,958. Indore reported highest 603 new cases, followed by Bhopal with 498 cases. Indore and Bhopal have more than 3,000 active cases. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has given a Meri Holi Mere Ghar call, appealing people to celebrate the festival of colors at their home in view of rising COVID-19 cases in the state. Pooja Pivardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa has called a meeting to discuss measures to contain the COVID surge in Bengaluru. The meeting to be held this evening is likely to be attended by Health Minister, Home, Education and Revenue Ministers, along with senior officials. With positivity rate of 2.89%, the state reported 3,082 new COVID cases yesterday and 12 related deaths. Telangana reported 403 fresh COVID-19 cases during the past 24 hours. The state has over 4,500 active cases currently, while over 1,800 of them are in home isolation. With this, the number of COVID-19 cases in the state has gone up to 3,06,742, while over 3,04,69 have recovered with a 97.95% recovery rate. According to the state COVID bulletin, 2 more persons succumbed to COVID-19 and other comorbidities, taking the total deaths in the state to 1,690. Meanwhile, COVID vaccination program is underway in Telangana and the state administered vaccines to about 10,000 people yesterday. With this, the number of people vaccinated in the state increased to over 11,73,000. They include 3,95,000 people who are above 60 years of age and over 2,06,000 who are above 45 years of age with comorbidities.
In Maharashtra, a new high of 40,414 new patients of COVID-19 were reported yesterday. 17,874 patients were discharged yesterday in the state, taking the recovery rate to approximately 86%. The state fatality rate is 2% and the total death toll has crossed the level of 54,000. At present, more than 3.25 lakh patients are under treatment in the state. Due to the high population density, the Mumbai Circle reported the highest number of more than 12,000 new patients yesterday. In the Pune Circle, 9,319 new patients tested positive for coronavirus yesterday. As per the state's health department data, the highest number of approximately 62,000 patients are active in Pune, while Mumbai has more than 43,000 active cases. In Nagpur, more than 42,000 patients are under treatment. Out of the total active patients, around 93% are asymptomatic or having mild symptoms. Around 4% are on oxygen support outside the ICU, while 3% are critical. Till date, more than 1.92 crore samples have been tested in Maharashtra, out of which around 15% have tested positive. Out of the total cases, around 60% are male. Maximum number of patients are reported in the age group of 31 to 40. Talking to AIR, Dr. Rupali Malik of Safdarjung Hospital, New Delhi, has stressed the need to follow COVID-appropriate behavior more strictly in view of the rising cases of coronavirus.
आप भले ही वैक्सीनेशन लगवा रहे हैं, बट उसके बावजूद आपको कोरोना अप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर सोशल वैक्सीन का भी पालन करना है, क्योंकि हो सकता है आप तो खुद वो सिम्टम्स ना हो, बट फिर भी आप दूसरे लोगों के लिए, आसपास वाले लोगों के लिए आप तब भी एक कैरियर के रूप में काम कर सकते हैं. और सब जानते हैं वैक्सीन की एफिकेसी 100% नहीं है, किसी भी वैक्सीन की नहीं होती है. जब भी आप अपना त्योहार मनाने के लिए घर से बाहर निकलेंगे तो प्लीज कोरोना अप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर का पालन जरूर करें. सोशल वैक्सीन जो है सबसे बड़ा हथियार है इस लड़ाई में.
In West Bengal, the second phase of polling will be held on the 1st of April in 30 assembly constituencies, out of which 9 seats are in East Medinipur district. Among these, Nandigram is one of the key constituencies as the Chief Minister of the state is in the fray. In the last assembly elections held in 2016, the Trinamool Congress got over 67% votes in Nandigram. In the 2019 general elections, their percentage of votes in this seat was over 63%. The vote share of the BJP was around 39% in 2019 from around 6% in 2016, whereas the total percentage of votes of the left parties and Congress was about 10% in 2019. More from our Kolkata correspondent.
Nandigram of East Medinipur has become the epicenter of the battle for Bengal as Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has shifted her seat from Bhawanipur to this constituency. BJP has fielded her erstwhile Lieutenant Shubhendu Adhikari in this seat, while youth leader of CPIM Meenakshi Mukherjee is contesting as the Sangyukta Morcha candidate. The first woman CM of the state, Mamata, is contesting from one of her decade-old fields of agitation which brought Trinamool Congress into power. The agitation of the Bhumi Uchhed Pratirod Committee against the proposed land acquisition in 2007 brought Nandigram and Shubhendu Adhikari into limelight. Shubhendu had won from Nandigram assembly seat as Trinamool Congress candidate in 2016. Mr. Adhikari resigned as the minister and MLA and joined the BJP recently. On the other hand, young CPIM leader Meenakshi Mukherjee is hoping to regain the lost ground of the left front and emerge as the giant killer. Political analysts are saying that the prestigious fight will not only elect the MLA from Nandigram, but the political career of the heavyweight candidates will also depend on it. Madhuparna Chaudhary for AIR News, Kolkata.
With only 2 days left for the end of election campaign for the second phase, our correspondent from Bankura reports that BJP, Trinamool Congress, Sanjukta Morcha and other parties have left no stone unturned to woo the voters.
Star campaigners of BJP, Trinamool Congress and Sanjukta Morcha are busy in rallies and road shows. Apart from these, candidates are focusing on street corner meetings. The party workers are knocking the doors to provide information about their candidates. Loudspeakers have been put up on auto rickshaws to promote the party's agenda. Paintings of party slogans and election symbols are being seen on the walls, while houses and avenues are dotted with party flags. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Bankura.
In Assam, tomorrow is the last day of campaigning for the second phase of polls. 345 candidates are in the fray in this phase, covering 39 seats. Polling will be held on the 1st of April. Today, campaigning is mixed with Holi celebrations. Political parties are making all-out efforts to attract voters along with colours of Holi. Chief Minister and senior BJP leader Sarbananda Sonowal attended Holi event at Guwahati. On the other hand, State Congress President Ripun Bora said that the youth of the state are giving good response to the party's job guarantee promise. Bodoland People's Front leader Rihon Daimare also addressed rallies at Udalguri. AIUDF, Assam Gana Parishad, UPPL, Assam Jatiya Parishad are also trying to woo voters.
With just 8 more days left for the assembly elections, Kerala is witnessing high-voltage campaigns across the state. More national leaders of all major political fronts are visiting the state and participating in various rallies and roadshows. A report.
Union Minister Giriraj Singh, who is campaigning in the state today, said in Thiruvananthapuram that the centre will not allow foreign trawling companies for deep-sea fishing even if the state government proceeds with the deal. Union Minister Piyush Goyal, who is also campaigning in the state today, said that Kerala will have high-speed development if BJP forms the government. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan is continuing his statewide campaign for LDF. National-level leaders of CPM, Sitaram Yechury, Prakash Karat, Brinda Karat are participating in several election meetings in the state for the last few days. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
President Ramnath Kovind has given his assent to the Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Act 2021. The Act provides that the term government referred to in any law made by the Legislative Assembly will imply Lieutenant Governor. The Parliament passed it last week. President Kovind also gave his assent to the National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development Act 2021 and the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment Act 2021. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reasserted on the mantra of Dawai Bhi Kadai Bhi to fight Corona. Sharing his thoughts in the Mann Ki Baat program of All India Radio yesterday, Mr. Modi appealed to people to remain committed to this mantra. He also appealed to every eligible person to take the COVID-19 vaccine. Mr. Modi said it's a matter of honor for everyone that today India is running the world's largest vaccination program.
साथियों सही भी है। देश के कोने कोने से हम ऐसी खबरें सुन रहे हैं, ऐसी तस्वीरें देख रहे हैं जो हमारे दिल को छू जाती हैं। यूपी के जौनपुर में 109 वर्ष की बुजुर्ग मां राम दुलैया जी ने टीका लगवाया है। ऐसे ही दिल्ली में भी 107 साल के केवल कृष्ण जी ने वैक्सीन की डोज ली है। हैदराबाद में 100 साल के जय चौधरी जी ने वैक्सीन लगवाई और सभी से अपील भी है कि वैक्सीन जरूर लगवाएं। इन सब के बीच कोरोना से लड़ाई का मंत्र भी जरूर याद रखिए, दवाई भी कड़ाई भी। और सिर्फ मुझे बोलना ऐसा नहीं, हमें जीना भी है, बोलना भी है, बताना भी है और लोगों को भी दवाई भी कड़ाई भी इसके लिए प्रतिबद्ध बनाते रहना है।
The Prime Minister recalled that the Amrit Mahotsav to mark 75 years of independence began from the day of Dandi Yatra and will continue till 15th August 2023. He urged the citizens to bring to fore the saga of freedom fighters and the historical and cultural importance of a place during Amrit Mahotsav to connect the country. The Prime Minister said the Women's Day in March came at a time when many women players set new records and won medals. He cited the example of Mithali Raj, who has become the first Indian woman cricketer to score 10,000 runs in international cricket. The Prime Minister lauded India's excellent performance at the ISSF World Cup shooting in New Delhi, where it topped the gold medals tally. Mr. Modi spoke how PV Sindhu won the silver medal in the BWF Swiss Open Super 300 tournament. The Prime Minister called for novelty and modernization in all fields of life, otherwise it becomes a burden at times.
जीवन के हर क्षेत्र में नयापन, आधुनिकता अनिवार्य होती है, वरना वही कभी कभी हमारे लिए बोझ बन जाती है। भारत के कृषि जगत में आधुनिकता ये समय की मांग है। बहुत देर हो चुकी है, हम बहुत समय गंवा चुके हैं। एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में रोजगार के नए अवसर पैदा करने के लिए, किसानों की आय बढ़ाने के लिए परंपरागत कृषि के साथ ही नए विकल्पों को, नए नए इनोवेशंस को अपनाना भी उतना ही जरूरी है। व्हाइट रिवॉल्यूशन के दौरान देश ने इससे अनुभव किया है।
The Prime Minister greeted people for Holi, New Year celebrations of Ugadi, Tamil Puthandu, Gudi Padwa, Bihu, Navreh, Poila Boishakh, Baisakhi and Vishu, Navratri, Ram Navami, Easter and Ambedkar Jayanti.
The registration of Pilgrims for Sri Amarnath Ji Yatra will commence on the 1st of April 2021 for both Baltal and Chandanpadi routes at designated bank branches all over the country. The Yatra will commence on the 28th of June this year. Our Jammu correspondent has filed this report.
The registration guidelines are available on the website of Sri Amarnathji Shrine Board, sriamarnathjishrine.com. Health certificates issued by doctors, medical institutes authorized by the concerned state governments, and UT administrations after 15th March 2021 shall be valid and accepted at the registered bank branch. This year, the 56-day Yatra will commence simultaneously on both the routes from 28th June and culminate on Raksha Bandhan on 22nd August. The government has made elaborate security and other necessary arrangements for the safe and smooth conduct of the Yatra this year amid due consideration to all the COVID SOPs. Nasir Rathir, AR News, Jammu.
India and the United States kicked off a two-day naval exercise in the Bay of Bengal, reflecting the growing congruence in their defense and military partnership. The exercise, which began yesterday, will conclude today. The Indian Navy deployed its warship Shivalik and long-range maritime patrol aircraft P-81, P-8I in the PASEX exercise, while the U.S. Navy was represented by the USS Theodore Roosevelt Carrier Strike Group. A carrier battle group or carrier strike group is a mega naval fleet comprising an aircraft carrier accompanied by a large number of destroyers, frigates and other ships. In a first enhancing jointmanship, Indian Air Force fighters have also been included in the exercise, affording the IAS an opportunity to practice air interception and air defense with the U.S. Navy.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Over 6 crore 5 lakh and 30,000 beneficiaries administered COVID-19 vaccine in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 94.32%. Campaigning is in full swing for the second phase of assembly elections in Assam and West Bengal. Registration of pilgrims for Sri Amarnath Ji Yatra begins on 1st of April 2021. Holi is being celebrated across the country with full fervour and gaiety. President, Vice President and Prime Minister extend the greetings on the occasion. Two-day Indo-US naval exercise PASEX in Bay of Bengal concludes today. In Maharashtra, 5 Naxalites killed in anti-Naxal operation. Huge container ship blocking Suez Canal partially refloated. All 25 Indian crew on board are safe. And in cricket, India beat England by 7 runs in third and final ODI to clinch the series to 1. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Holi, the festival of colors, is being celebrated throughout the country today. The festival is celebrated in the month of March, which not only brings cheer to people, but also brings a new lease of life to plants and animals. Holi marks the onset of spring. Holi begins with Holika Dahan, a day prior to Holi. Like any other Hindu festival, Holi also marks the victory of good over evil. Holi gives the message of equality and fraternity as all the sections of society, irrespective of caste, creed, color, age or sex, celebrate it with great enthusiasm. Holi ke din dil khil jaate hain, rangon mein rang mil jaate hain. Holi ke din dil khil jaate hain, rangon mein rang mil jaate hain. Dil shikwe bhool ke दोस्तों दुश्मन भी गले मिल जाते हैं. रंग बरसे भीगे चुनर वाली रंग बरसे. रंग बरसे भीगे चुनर वाली रंग बरसे. President Ramnath Kovind has greeted the nation on the occasion of Holi. In his message, Mr. Kovind said, Holi is a festival of social harmony which celebrates joy, delight and hope in the lives of people. He added that it gives the message of social integration and fraternity. At the same time, it also inspires people to come together in making a new India. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has greeted the citizens on Holi. In a tweet, Mr. Naidu said, the festival of colors, Holi, is celebrated with great fervor and zeal across the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also extended his greetings to the nation on the occasion of Holi. He hopes that the festival infuses joy and vigor into everyone's life. Delhi Police Commissioner S. N. Srivastava has said that as per Delhi Disaster Management Authority guidelines, no celebrations of Holi and Shab-e-Barat have been allowed at public places. Speaking to media in New Delhi, Mr. Srivastava said no violation of guidelines has been reported so far. Delhi Police has intensified patrolling in view of Holi and other celebrations. It has warned that strict action will be taken against those who do not follow COVID-19 guidelines issued by Delhi Disaster Management Authority.
The initiative Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat, announced by the Prime Minister on the 31st of October 2015 on the occasion of the 140th birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, has paved ways for different states and union territories to enhance understanding and bonding between states by sharing knowledge of culture, traditions and practices. With this innovative step, Nagaland, the land of festivals, ties with Madhya Pradesh, the heart of India, as partner state and have been strengthening their relations through multiple interactions in the form of tourism, education, culture and so on. A report from our Kohima correspondent.
Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, Nagaland and Madhya Pradesh states have kept a close knit through its tourism department, wherein virtual events were being organized where both states learned from each other about their diverse culture, food, tourism, festivals and many more. Let's hear it from Ms. Vete Koza, Tourist Officer, Department of Tourism, Nagaland, more on the activities.
February last year, Institute of Hotel Management students, they came to Nagaland and we went to homestays to learn our culinary skills. So we took them to Konoma and some institutes, and also we had a familiarization tour for the students. And after March, because of the pandemic, we couldn't do the exchange program, so we conducted 3 webinars.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision to celebrate and promote the diversity of each state through Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat has not only enriched the value system of unity, but also creating an understanding and appreciation amongst the people and forging mutual bonding in a long run. For AII News, Asonyo from Kohima.
In Jammu and Kashmir, in a major success, security forces recovered a huge cache of arms and ammunition in Karna Tehsil of North Kashmir's Kupwara district last evening. As per a defense spokesperson, the Indian Army and Jammu and Kashmir Police, on the basis of specific intelligence, recovered 5 AK rifles and 7 pistols with a host of magazines and ammunition. The operation was conducted in very close proximity of the line of control in Dhanni village, which is under direct observation of Pak Army posts in the Liba Valley. Locals said that such operations conducted by security agencies along the line of control reassure and make them feel safe. Meanwhile, security agencies and civil administration in Karna Tehsil continue to work to negate the security threat to the people in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir.
In Himachal Pradesh, 4 members of a family, including 2 minor children, died due to suffocation in a fire incident in Chamba district late last night. The fire broke out at Soila village of Tisa in Chamba district, where 4 people died due to suffocation after the fire engulfed the house. The cause of fire is still unknown. Our correspondent reports that few livestock have also been killed in this incident. Chief Minister Jairam Thakur in a tweet expressed grief over the death of the 4 people in the incident. In Maharashtra, 5 Nakshals were killed by Maharashtra police in Gadchiroli district this morning. Gadchiroli police achieved this great success in the anti-Nakshal operation, which has been going on for the last 3 days. DIG Nakshal Range Sandeep Patil has confirmed that 5 Nakshals were encountered in this operation, out of which 3 are male and others are female.
A huge container ship blocking Egypt's Suez Canal for nearly a week has been partially refloated, officials confirmed today. Head of the Suez Canal Authority, the SCA, Osama Rabi, said the container ship Ever Given began to float successfully after responding to the pulling maneuvers. Once the ship is withdrawn, we will resume navigation directly and we will take it to the Bitter Lakes, he added. The SCA has confirmed that the Ever Given has been straightened in the canal and further tugging operations will resume once the tide rises later today. The 400-meter-long Ever Given became jammed diagonally in the canal last Tuesday, blocking one of the world's busiest maritime trade routes between Europe and Asia. Meanwhile, the maritime solutions provider in charge of technical management of the vessel said all members of the crew on board the ship are Indians. Bernhard Schult Ship Management (BSM) said all 25 Indian crew are safe and are in good health and spirits. The management is working closely with all parties involved to refloat the vessel. Abhijit Sangle, working president of the All India Seafarers and General Workers Union, said they have received information from BSM that the 25 Indians on board are from different states like Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra and some from North India. Indonesian President Joko Widodo has condemned the suicide attack outside a church on the island of Sulawesi and called it an act of terrorism. The president said he has instructed the police to carry out a thorough investigation into the incident.
In cricket, India beat England by 7 runs in the third and final ODI in Pune last night to clinch the 3-match series 2-1. Chasing a victory target of 330 runs, England could only reach 322 for 9 in 50 overs, with Sam Curran smashing an unbeaten knock of 95 runs in 83 balls. He was declared player of the match. England batsman Johnny Bairstow was awarded the player of the series as the opener amassed 219 runs in the ODI series. Shardul Thakur was in top form for India, returning with 4 wickets, and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar scalped 3 dismissals. Also, T. Natarajan took a wicket and held his nerves in the final over to take India to a thrilling series win. Earlier, the hosts were bowled out for 329 in 48.2 overs. Rishabh Pant slammed a knock of 78 runs off 62 balls and helped his side reach a competitive total. India Meteorological Department (IMD) has forecast heavy rain in Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram during the next 5 days. The Met Department has warned that heavy rains will lash the states till April the 2nd. It said heavy rain may lead to localized landslides, mudslides, localized flooding of roads and waterlogging in low-lying areas at some places in South Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. Srinagar will have thunderstorm with rain. Temperature in the city will hover between 11 and 17 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have mainly clear sky with partly cloudy skies towards evening or night. The maximum temperature may rise to 31 degrees and minimum to 23 degrees Celsius. Leh is likely to witness generally cloudy sky. The city may register maximum temperature around 13 degrees Celsius and minimum of 2 degrees Celsius. Gilgit may have rain or thunder showers towards afternoon or evening. The temperature will move from 11 to 22 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have thunderstorm with rain. Maximum temperature will be around 26 degrees and minimum 13 degrees. National capital Delhi will have mainly clear sky. The maximum temperature in the city is likely to be 38 degrees Celsius, while it recorded a minimum of 21 degrees. In Mumbai, the maximum temperature is likely to be around 34 degrees Celsius, while the minimum was 24 degrees. The city will have mainly clear sky. In Chennai, the temperature will rise to 33 degrees Celsius, while the minimum was 27 degrees. The city sky will be partly cloudy. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky. The city is expected to have temperature of 37 and a minimum of 26 degrees.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Over 6,530,000 beneficiaries administered COVID-19 vaccine in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 94.32%. Campaigning is in full swing for the second phase of assembly election in Assam and West Bengal. Registration of pilgrims for Sri Amarnath Ji Yatra begins on 1st April 2021. Holi is being celebrated across the country with full fervour and gaiety. President, Vice President and Prime Minister extend the greetings on the occasion. 2-day Indo-US naval exercise PASEX in Bay of Bengal concludes today. In Maharashtra, 5 Naxalites killed in anti-Naxal operation. Huge container ship blocking Suez Canal partially refloated. All 25 Indian crew on board are safe. And in cricket, India beat England by 7 runs in third and final ODI to clinch the series 2-1. And with that, we end the midday news.